Hello, how are you? It's me here, and it's Craig. Hello, nice to see you. I want to talk about this, the Insta360. Now, this video is not me out and about with it, filming. It's going, oh, look, I can swing it around my head. Isn't that great? Oh, look, I'm on a skateboard now. Look, it's underneath the skateboard. Oh, look, it's going up my bum and out my mouth. Oh, what a great camera. I'm not doing any of those shots. They're fantastic. They look great. I don't skateboard. I don't water ski. I don't ski. I don't jump out of, I don't fly through space. I'm not an Avenger. I don't, so any of those shots are of no interest to me in that capacity as an action cam thing. I'm not interested in action cam things. I'm interested in how can I use this as a sort of editorial tool. How can I use it for vlogging? How can I use it to aid me tell any stories I want to tell? I know that sounds a little bit pretentious, but it is kit for me, and I have a rule about all kit. I use professional kit in my day job, and I do not do this. Oh, messy kit. I don't foam at the mouth when I see sexy camera, new bits of camera. They're objects. They need to work. If they don't work, they'll soon find out about it. But I like this thing here. It's I like it. I like everything about it. I like that it doesn't look like a camera for a start. I went out with it this morning, and I was walking along, chatting away to myself, and I wasn't drawing any attention to myself because it just looked like an extension to my my monopod. Which, incidentally, just getting off the camera for a second, this is the monopod I use. Ooh, it's a Smarty, little foam thing here. It's got a little screw-in point for this base. This base, I think, might have been separate, but the base will just screw in the bottom. This is metal, and it's also made. It's also made by Smarty, and yeah, I quite like it because it unscrews there. It's got like nice little foam grips, and it will extend quite far, and you can put like a little rotating. I think the rotating head comes with it, so I like it. And this will work with these 360 cameras if you're into doing 360 things. Which 360 Insta360 don't necessarily tell you about, do they? They want you to buy their monopods, and there's nothing special about their monopods. I have got about 8 monopods now. This is the one I always go to. Quite heavy, but the camera's quite light, so it's all sort of working out in the end. I think you need the weight on your monopod if you're out in a field or whatever, and you need to stick it down and do a walk past, which is what I intend to do. You want something that isn't going to blow over immediately and scratch the lenses of your camera. So what's this video about? Well, it is just somebody talking about it now. They've had it for a couple of days. Well, I've had it for day 2. And I want to give you an honest opinion about what I think about it. I think lots of good things about it, but I also think lots of pretty bad things about it, things that aren't so good. But let me do a little bit telling you about just operating it. What's that like? So you might notice I've got a big hole in mine. That's for the battery. But it's also for the card. Now, the card, you need a fast card for this. I think I can go up to, I'm going to use 128. This is only a 32. I'm going to put 128 gigs in mine. It might go to 256, but I don't think it's been tested for that. I think 128 is the max, or it might be 256 is the max they've tested it for. So they can't guarantee that it'll work beyond that. That's what they're saying. A lot of data flying into these cards, so you need one that can cope with that speed. When you got your card, you just pop it into a little slot in there, and it makes a satisfying push and click. You see it sitting in there now. Oops, see that? And the reason it's in there is because if you look on the battery, that little blue thing around the edge, that's a rubber seal, a gasket, if you like. And you pop that on there, and because it's rubber, you need to really push it in. Now, if you notice on the switches at the side, you see how they're all grey? If I push it in and I don't push it in properly, it goes orange. And that tells you the seal's not complete, top and bottom. So you need to push it in really tight until it clicks, and then the orange goes away. And then you now know there's no orange on any of these switches. Therefore, it's now watertight. The top compartment here is the USB-C, and I shall open that because it's quite interesting, because it's annoying. I don't know if you've seen many videos from people who haven't been given free kit by Insta360, but I am literally going to be petty here. Look, so you see it's already popped open. It's gone a little bit orange. There it is, look. Isn't that great? Look, can you see it? Can you see the USB-C slot? Can you? Okay, well, let's see if we can find it. I think the point I'm trying to make is it's a real pain to get this there. These little doors are always annoying. But what can you do? You can't really do anything about it. It's just, they have to do it, don't they? Nobody's thought of a better way. And yeah, close it again. But to be honest, you never really go into this part of the camera. I think you need 2 batteries with this when you're using it. If you look at this. Oh my God. I made a bit of a meal of that. I've got to be honest. That's not as difficult as I made out there. I'm just an idiot. Hold on. There you go. Sealed. Now, what do I like about it? The front and the back has this is rubber. It's like a nice rubber. It's really quite satisfying to hold it. Actually, it's very there's no sharp corners. Everything's rounded. It fits in the hand really nice. It's very satisfying little device. These glass things are very vulnerable, so you do get the foam thing to put over the top to protect them. That comes separate. It's not very expensive, but it's invaluable. I also thought it'd be nice if there's a way of, when you're not using it, to put it on and it's quite difficult to get off, which I like. I thought it'd be quite nice to be able to shove it on the bottom when you're not using it, but of course you've got the hole for the monopod there, so you can't do that. What else can I say about it really? The screen here is fine. I'm sure there's a good reason why it's round, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm going to switch it on and watch my finger go white as I press really hard. A lot of pressure to switch that on. And here it goes. So that's currently on, you see that mode there, or you can't really see it. I think it was to say 150, an angle of 150. Yeah, so I think it's got like an angle. So this is set to be record 16 by 9, 4K, and I think I've set it to HDR, and it's a 50 FPS. 50, what's it? 50 at 50 frames per second. Is it? Is that what it is? And that's it, gone into standby now. The blue light flashing at the bottom is ready to talk to my phone. Here's my phone. If you're wondering what this little white thing is, that's so I know where the camera is in my phone when I talk to my phone. When I'm filming myself talking to the phone, I'm not one of these people, Adam Savage, who looks at myself when I'm videoing myself. I look at the camera, not myself. I save that for the mornings. So I'm just opening my phone and I'm going to open the app. So you can see if it connects okay. So it's in standby mode. I'm not using too much battery, I don't believe. So it's trying to connect now. Oops. There you go. What's going on? Do I want to join? Yeah, I want to join. You set all this up in the app. It's quite easy. Everything tells you. It's very straightforward. And it's found me. So that's now got me on there. And obviously I can go into the phone and mess around with the settings. I'm not a fan of this. I don't like the app. I like that I can see the output from the camera in my phone. I like that. I like that I can change all the settings on the camera via my phone. But what I don't like is the lack. It's not intuitive to me at all. When I had the Insta360 ONE R, I had the same beef about it. I don't find this app at all friendly. A lot of the icons are kind of like new. We've never seen them before. So you kind of like have to guess what everything is. And it's just not the sort of hierarchy of going to different levels in the menus. It's not great for me. I don't like the community aspect to the app. I don't give a frig what everyone else is doing. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? It's like there's limits. So it's very much being pitched, I think, as a show-off camera, show off your skateboarding techniques, your skateboarding skills. I don't know about you, but I'm not a skier. I think everyone's seen the BMX bike busting through the muddy puddle. I think we're all a bit bored of those shots now. I am. I don't know anyone interesting who's ever said, "Hey, look at this! Look at this move I was busting on my board." You see, I'm down with the kids there. You see, talking in the street. Forgive my bed hair. It's caused by the bed. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the app, but I do like the camera. But it's not massively intuitive to use. For example, I went out this morning with this camera, and just note that when it's a standby, I can't touch the screen to activate to see myself. I have to look on the phone. So I'm not quite sure if I press this to try and activate the screen, it actually just drops it into record. So it's now recording, which is kind of like, okay, how do I waken it up? I'm not sure how to do that without using the phone. Maybe I'll find out that there is a way of doing it. Something that I do like is that when you are recording like this, after a while, the screen will just switch itself off. It'll go black, as it will do in a few seconds, probably on 20 seconds. Let's have a look. Maybe 25, maybe 30. Where the screen will go black. And if you are vlogging with it, like Ash just done there, you just have to tap it again and you can check your framing. What a mistake is to level up the eye of the camera with your eye. Don't have it flat onto yourself. You always have to tilt it forward if you want to get the correct framing. Otherwise your head will be bang in the center of the screen with the equal amount of headroom there as you have like room there. It looks not very nice, sort of compositionally. So you have to tilt the camera forward a little bit when you're shooting in this mode. And this is the mode I'm going to be shooting in the most, the 16:9, 4K, HDR. When you do this, it creates not an INSTV file, it creates an MP4, but that's probably because I've set it to 264 codec. When I import it in, there it is, 4K file in Premiere. That's fine. It's just a standard type of file. So it's easy to work with. I can just crack on. But I did notice that it said compressed. Once I scooted along the timeline to check the format of the file that I was importing, it had the word compressed in there, which just never fills you up with a massive amount of enthusiasm to see the word compressed in a file you've just imported straight off the camera raw, as far as you're concerned. So I might explore that a little bit more and see if I can find out why that is. If you know, down below, let me know. I'd like to know what that's about. Also, if I say anything that's out of sheer stupidity or lack of knowledge or bothering to read or watch tutorials, then do shout at me about it and say, look, guy, look, dude, you know what you're talking about, dude. You know what you're talking about, dude. Did I talk about the Monopod? I can't remember. Did I tell you about the Monopod? I think I did. Yeah, so there you go. This is, so it's recording it in the minute. I'm going to stop it and you just press that button. The buttons all require quite a hefty press, which I quite like. You know, I'm not having any problem with that. I think that's a good sign. When I took it out this morning, I did record the audio from it. Unfortunately, I spent about 40 minutes filming with it this morning and thought I was being very careful, checking that I had all the settings right. I had my 16:9 shape in the window there. It looked like that. It all looked fine. And then when I took it back to the computer and imported it, it was set to time lapse and it was recording it as a 360 world. So I wasn't very impressed about that. Because, and I do remember last night playing with the time lapse button options. But I know it's my mistake, but it would be good to be more idiot proof. It'd be good to know without any sort of doubt that this is in that mode. It's not clear what mode it's in to me. I looked at it and I thought, oh, maybe that's what that little stopwatch means. Is there a book with this? Is there a manual even? It just seems to be like one guy on the internet who seems to work for Insta360 who's making videos about this, but they're very vague and very general. He also talked about in that tutorial about if you are importing the 360 material into your computer, Obviously, there's the plugin you can get for Premiere. You probably all know that from watching other tutorials. That's all fine. That all works. But he does point out that it could crash the computer. What? Why? It feels unfinished to me a little bit that a camera is doing that. It shouldn't. Not even because he's saying that even for really good computers, it could crash it. That's not good. Something's not right there. Something's a little bit incomplete. The only reason I'd also say that is because of the audio capability. The sound is terrible recorded just loose on this as it stands. And there may be I've got the latest firmware installed in here. I installed it yesterday. But there may be a further firmware update that improves that. But as it stands, it's terrible. It's unusable audio as far as I'm concerned. Really boxy. Sounds like you're shouting down a toilet roll. I think it's just switched itself off, which is good. I like that. I wonder where the setting is for me to tell it how long I want it to wait before it does that. Never seen anything about that on any tutorial or on anything in the app, and I browsed the app like crazy. So how do I set that? I don't know. Who knows? So it's kind of, I am dumb. I know I'm stupid. Even though I do film professionally for a living, I make documentaries and I've done for 20 years. I get completely confused by cameras like this because they're not intuitive. They're using icons we've never seen before. It's got like a menu system that's strange. The screen's round. So maybe it's just a matter of getting used to it. So what was I saying there? The sound's not good. Camera's not finished as far as I'm concerned. I think the little box that goes into the USB 3 at the side for the audio, why don't we have that? And my thinking is that it isn't working. They've not got it working yet. That's what I think. Otherwise they'd release it. Why is stuff not being released that isn't finished? That's what my thinking is. The audio on this is so poor. It's kind of like you'd think when you fix the audio, then we'll release it to the market. No, audio sounds terrible. Let's release it to the market anyway. We'll fix that later. It's like computer games. People do that with computer games, don't they? They release everything in beta and they never leave beta. So it's just like intriguing and maybe a little bit disappointing considering how much these things cost. I am sounding negative now, but I love this thing. I love it. I'm excited about it. I've got a lot to learn about it, and that's going to be the fun part of it. But I want to go. I want to make every mistake under the sun that you can make with it, apart from damaging it. You get the little foam head thing that goes on the top, which is a godsend, and it's so easy to forget to put that on there. But you absolutely must. And the other thing you have to do a lot is wipe these because they will create. You'll get flares and all sorts of things, light lens flares. You need to wipe these down because they just get greasy because there'll be grease inside there. And on your finger and on your face or wherever you're shoving it, there'll be grease. So just clean your lenses properly. And I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. As I say, I'm excited about it. The workflow is a little bit problematic. It's not instinctive. I can't edit on this app because I'm into vlogging. I want to do narrative style filming with this thing. It was either this or the Pocket Osmo. And because the reason I don't want the Pocket Osmo is because although it looks like they've cracked the audio side of things, I don't like the bounce you get from it. The vertical bounce as you're walking along with it. It does that. I don't like it. I don't know why the head can't swivel to compensate, but it doesn't do it. This is smooth, baby. And I don't actually mind recording the audio separately because I want stereo audio. So I'm quite happy to have WAV files. Sound's important to me. I also record wild tracks when I'm out in the countryside. I record the birds in the countryside and I lay that as a stereo track underneath everything. So if you're listening on your headphones, you get the full experience of being in the countryside. That's over on my countryside films channel. I'll put a link down to that below. I've got another channel besides this one where I make hiking videos as I go out to the countryside and hike and try to lose weight. But they're fun. Go and watch them. That's it. I'll leave links down below for the tripod, the monopod, and the base. The base may come with this. I'm not sure if I can find it. It's been so long. I've had this for ages. I'll leave a link down below for that. What else have I showed you? I'll leave a link down below for the correct card to put in it. And that's it. What do you think? this took a month to get to me, and I'm not happy about that one little bit. But I am absolutely delighted now I've got it. Packaging's great. Everything's copying Apple, of course. It's an exciting thing. I think it's a really exciting thing. And I'm super energized about it. But I'm not, oh, mighty kit. It has a job to do. Do it. If you don't do it, I'm going to be mad. And I'm just going to have to spend more time learning how to use this thing. Why is it that I have to train to use this? Why can't this be intuitive? That sounded stupid. But we all have to train to learn to use equipment. You're an idiot, Mr. Duncan. All right, well, if you're going to be like that, I think I better go. On that bombshell. By the way, when you're framing in 16:9, you got to tilt it a little bit forward, because if you just leave it flat like that, which you have to do for 360, then it will put your head in the 16:9 frame. It'll put your head right in the center, which you don't want. You want to compose it a little bit better. Did I say that earlier? I'm kind of feel like I'm going over old ground now. All right, that's it. That's the thing. Oh, finally, just to say, I tried to connect this to my computer so I could import straight through the USB slot, USB-C slot into my computer. Couldn't get it to work. Couldn't find anything in the menu system to say to switch this into USB mode. So I had to literally take the card out, which means taking the battery out, which is just a whole process you shouldn't really have to do. I want to put the card in there and leave it in there as part of the camera. I don't really want to have to touch that card again for as long as I've got it. I don't like the idea of pulling these little cards in and out. They're not they're designed to have that done necessarily. I think they're designed to be put in there and left there. So I'm not crazy about the fact that I had to do that. And I'm sure that's a firmware thing. Camera's not finished. Sure, when they finish it, it'll all be working beautifully. But I bet they don't. I bet they'll just bring out the X3. And this will never get finished. And we'll buy it. We'll buy the X3 as well. Anyway, what are your thoughts? I'd be very interested to know. Hope you found this reasonably entertaining or interesting. I'm sorry I haven't got any footage like everybody else. This was somebody who's not paid by Insta360. I've not been given anything by them apart from a headache, telling you what I think of this as an operating tool. I hope you found that interesting. If you did, put something down below. If you're grumpy and didn't like what I've said, then go and watch Nerderotic or something. And I'll speak to you again. Take care. Bye-bye.